Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this. Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
You were supposed to bring death to the flagships, not join them.
Google has found a new way to piss me off.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
Behind-the-scenes camera crap.
Here, tell us about courage, Phil. Tell us about courage.
I am Manila. I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hi.
And we are here to talk as much tech as we can this week. Well, for me, when I was looking on things, there wasn't too much, but
apparently Landon has stuff, so that's good.
I've got stuff.
Landon just wants to talk about whatever. Let's be real.
That's fair.
That's fair. All right. Well, you know what? Well, why don't you take it away, Landon? What do you want to talk about?
All right. I have all the things to talk about, and it's mostly good news. All but one thing.
Mostly.
As opposed to last week where it was all but one thing was bad news, basically.
Yep.
No, this is going to be a much better week for me. Let's say that. All right. First thing, Google News. For any of you that have a Pixel Watch, Wes, this applies to you because you have a Pixel Watch.
I do.
Yeah. So fall detection is now available for the Pixel Watch.
Oh, that's good. I fall down the stairs all the time, and I need something to tell me, hey, you just fell down the stairs.
Well,
because I would not have known.
I believe that, but it's not to tell you that you fell. It's to, alert, paramedics if you don't respond to it, asking, hey, did you just fall? Which,
gotcha.
I mean, you might also not respond to that, but, hopefully not, but it is a nice feature to have, though. So that is now available for the Pixel Watch.
I'm looking to see if it's on there right now, and it doesn't look like it.
Well, maybe you should update your watch.
Probably update, yeah.
Anyways, and I think this just barely started rolling out this past week, so it may not be there yet, because they usually kind of roll these out over a week or two to everyone, so. All right. The next thing, we're going to skip over some Android 14, we're on Android 13. We're going to skip Android 14, and we're going to talk about Android 15. So, listener,
okay.
You probably know, we mention this every year, but back in the day, Google used to be fun and give their Android versions different names that were always neat, like Ice Cream Sandwich was one, Kit Kat was one of them. There's different sweet treats, as they called them back in the day. And ever since they've stopped doing that publicly, they still have internal code names for all of these Android versions. Android 13 is Tiramisu. Android 14, which is coming out later this year, is Upside Down Cake. And we just learned that Android 15, which will come out next year, is the code name for that one is Vanilla Ice Cream.
That's pretty vanilla.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It's Android, it's Google, it's Vanilla Android. That's it's been the thing forever.
Hey.
So, but there you go. That is the next iteration of Android, code name Vanilla Ice Cream. So that's some good news.
All right. I make fun, but I don't have a better dessert that starts with a V, so...
Yeah.
I actually haven't. I usually will sometimes, look up different dessert names with that letter, but I haven't done that with V yet, so I'm sure there are other options, but vanilla ice cream works. So, and they couldn't do vanilla frozen yogurt because Froyo was that was the F name. So they couldn't do that. That would be backtracking a little bit. So they had to use ice cream. Although they did use ice cream sandwich for I don't know.
Ooh,
it doesn't matter. It's not a public thing anymore. It's just internal that gets out into the public. as we're talking about it. All right. Another fun thing that Google does still do on a fairly regular basis is they have lots of different Easter eggs inside of Google search. And the latest one that I've come across is it's going along with the new season of Mandalorian that is now available on Disney Plus. So if you were to type The Mandalorian or Grogu into your Google search bar, a little Baby Yoda / Grogu pops up in the bottom corner of your device, and you tap on him, and he starts using the Force, and he pulls the top search section, the top little thing that pops up, shrinks it, and pulls it down. And then you tap on him again, he does the next section, does the same thing, and it just keeps going and going until you want to stop. It's kind of fun. Nothing crazy, but I like it. That's all of my Google news for this week.
That's actually pretty cute.
Yeah, right? It's pretty fun.
Sorry, I'm checking the Grogu thing right now. That's nice.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so that's all the Google news for this week. Now on to some general tech news, and we're going to start with the not as good news. This is more of a really kind of news. So we've talked repeatedly about the LastPass security breach that happened last year. Around August timeframe is when it actually happened. They didn't tell anybody till about December, and we've just been finding out more and more things about this that just makes it even worse every single time something comes out. You're like, oh good, what now? But this one kind of it shows basically what happened. So it's just sad. This is just a reminder, listener, that you should update things when people tell you to update things. Because what ended up happening is there was one of the senior developers at LastPass this was a mistake. First off, he had at-home access to different parts of LastPass Vault, which shouldn't have happened in the first place. You should not have access to that stuff on your home computer, which he did. So, strike one for LastPass. Strike two is this guy on that same device had a Plex server set up. And this is actually how the hackers got into this guy's his hardware. Was this guy had not updated his Plex server, and there was an exploit there that people could get into and then access all your stuff. And then they were like, "Oh, this is fun," and got way more than they probably thought they were going to from this. But the biggest problem with this is this exploit from Plex was patched 3 years ago.
Woof.
Yeah. Ooh. And whoever it is, this senior developer at LastPass hadn't updated the Plex stuff for that. You would think someone that works for LastPass would know better.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, now that you say it, though, I'm sitting here like, when was the last time I updated my Plex server? So I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah. I don't
Probably
have
a good
Plex,
idea.
so I'm good.
I mean, I use Plex on my devices to access different things, but I don't have. Well, I've got a few things that are mine on there, but I have access to other people's servers.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't have Plex on my computer. It's on my phone and on my TV. So, and those get updated on the regular pretty often. You know, whenever there's an update, update, ready to go. And on my TV, it just automatically does it. I don't even have to worry about that. So, yeah. But this guy, a patch that was there 3 years ago. And that's how these hackers were able to exploit this person's hardware and get everything from LastPass.
Yikes.
Which, I mean, I did look into this. I mean, I've already switched over I'm using Bitwarden now, and I did find out that my LastPass subscription happens to be in the middle of March, so I am canceling that so it doesn't renew. And so after that happens, I will just be gone from LastPass.
Yep.
Don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out. Or actually, let it do that. All right. Now on to some more fun news. So, listener, this past week was MWC, also known as Mobile World Congress, in Barcelona, Spain. Happens every year. There's this one. It's kind of like CES, but basically just for phones and mobile technology. That's why it's called Mobile World Congress. And there's always interesting things to come out of this. And that's what I want to talk about, is a couple concept devices that came out of this conference that was happening over there. The first one is from Motorola. And again, this is just a concept phone. This isn't something that they're planning on releasing, at least not anytime soon. But it's called the Riser. Kind of like how the Razor is spelled R-A-Z-R. This is R-I-Z-R. And
fair enough.
And it actually does what its name says, where if you push the power button, the phone unrolls and goes up. So when it's closed or not closed, when it's compact, in its compact form, it's got a 5-inch display, and it looks very square-ish. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But then you double tap on the power button, and it rises up, and it goes to a 6.5-inch display, which is, comparable to everything else out there right now. And it's the same aspect ratio as what you would be used to on a modern smartphone. And it's pretty cool. Now, obviously, like I said, this is a concept phone, because when it is in its full 6.5-inch display size, the part of the display that is up above the part of the phone is really thin and could very easily break if you aren't careful. And but the technology behind it is really cool. Also, another cool feature / potentially problematic feature is when it is closed, well, in its compact 5-inch display form, that other display that gets rolled behind the phone is literally behind the phone and is usable on the back part of the phone. Which is kind of cool, because if you want to take pictures using the main camera, you can do that and see what you're taking a picture of at the same time. Right. Kind of the same idea as some of the flip phones that we have, where there's that outside display. You can use the nicer camera to take a selfie and still see what you're taking a picture of. Kind of cool. But because that's there, obviously there's some issues that could arise from that. At that point, what way do you put your phone down? You put it face down or back down. Either way, you're on a display.
I was going to say, I think it's just face down always.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't really set it down not on the face.
You can try to balance it on its side. Maybe. I don't think so. It had rounded edges, so that might not work very well, but, you can try. The other interesting part about this is the actual selfie camera, the front-facing camera, is behind the display. So if the display is extended out, you can't use it. And if you want to use it with the display in its compact form, it rolls a little further down to actually show the camera. It doesn't go through the display. It lowers it just a hair, just to reveal the camera, and then takes a picture, which is
interesting.
Very interesting. But I thought that phone was kind of cool. Something else came out from MWC about Motorola, and I want to read this sentence that I came up with because it's just fun. So, the Lenovo CEO told CNBC at MWC 2023 that the Moto Razr is confirmed to be coming soon. So, there's two parts of that sentence that are fun. All the letters at the beginning, and a new Moto Razr for 2023 will be coming soon. They didn't give any more information than that. There have been leaks come out that it's supposed to launch potentially on June 1st, which is noticeably earlier than it has in the past. It's usually been around August, which is not the smartest thing because then you're competing directly with Samsung and the Fold and the Flip. So doing it in June is really smart. So
yeah,
I'm happy with that. And I'm also happy that we're getting a new version of the Razr. So that's cool.
In terms of design, that one's always been my favorite foldable. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I just like it better than the others.
I agree.
And maybe that's nostalgia, but whatever. Nostalgia counts for something.
Yes, always. All right. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about that came out of MWC is another concept phone. This one is from OnePlus. Now, they've done this a few times in the past where they have a concept version of their current flagship. The last one I remember, I don't remember which flagship it was based off of, but it had this glass on the back of the phone that could, in lack of a better term, change colors. But it would, instead of like doing different colors, it would basically go black and hide the cameras. So it just looked like a flat back of the phone, and it made it look really good. And that one they actually partnered with McLaren, so it had a different design on the back, but where the cameras were could just be blacked out, and it made the back of the phone look sleeker, basically. Now, this one is based on the OnePlus 11, because that's the current OnePlus flagship, is a liquid-cooled phone using what they're calling active cryoflux mobile cooling technology. All the words.
Wow. Cryoflux is such just baloney, like as a name. Come on.
Yeah, it's fun. Now, the phone itself does look pretty cool. It's got some, like, you can see the liquid in the phone, like the way they've got it designed. There's like this little light feature on the back that basically shows the liquid flowing, which also is not a really good sign, because if you can see bubbles flowing, that means it's not really doing a great job.
Yeah,
generally, if you have
loop
bubbles,
was not drained very well.
Yeah, generally, if you have bubbles in your liquid cooling things, it's
inefficient.
It's not gonna be very good.
Air, as it happens, is actually a great insulator. So yeah. Now, don't want air in your water cooling.
Yeah. Now, obviously, they did that so you could see it, because again, this is a concept phone. There's probably 10 of them, maybe at most, that they have made. Now, the best part of this is the features that are added to the phone that this will benefit from, basically. So while you're gaming on this phone, it can cool the device up to 2.1 degrees Celsius, which will give you a grand total of 3 to 4 frames per second more than before.
Yeah, that good stuff.
In some cases, that 3 to 4 frames per second could be beneficial. On a mobile device, I don't really see it being that beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, I think more the thing that will make more of a difference on a mobile device with something like this is it's going to take longer for the phone's body to heat soak so that the chip gets hot enough that it has to start throttling. And when the chip throttles, it's not so much that like you're losing frame rate in games as much as it is just periodically you'll have sudden spikes where your frame rate will drop to like 1 frame per second before it jumps back up to whatever it was before. And that kind of laggy feeling and stuff like that happens a lot when your phone's processor is throttling. So this just makes it so that doesn't happen as fast.
Right.
Which, okay, like maybe there's a tangible benefit to that.
Yeah. And the other benefit that OnePlus is telling people will happen with this is while charging, it can cool it up to 1.6 degrees Celsius cooler than previously, which will allow for another whopping 30 to 45 seconds faster charging. Now,
good.
That's 30 to 45 seconds faster is nothing on any phone, especially on a phone that already charges from 1 to 100 in 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, on an iPhone, 30 to 45 seconds difference in charging time means nothing because they take so long to charge anyways. On
Right.
this one, you might notice, like if you were in an actual race with somebody else with the other like non-water cooled version of the phone, you'd be like, haha, yes. But that's the only situation in which it would make a difference.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, my phone charged 45 seconds faster than yours. No, that's okay, whatever. Good job, OnePlus. Again, this is a concept phone.
Yeah.
And it's not ever going to happen in the way that
Probably
OnePlus has implemented it in this way. So
I will say probably the coolest thing, because I did see some stuff about this phone, and I think the coolest part of it is actually nothing to do with the water cooling and stuff like that. It's the pumps. They managed to put actual little pumps into the phone to move the fluid around. And they're like, it's a phone. You can't open this thing up to service it. You can't use an impeller pump from a computer, like a PC water cooling loop, to actually do this. The water cool, like move the liquid around, because like it'll break eventually. And also they're way too big. So instead they have these tiny little piezoelectric pumps that are just like adorable, with a couple of little valves that are like just it basically looks like a tiny little self-actuated cylinder that you just apply electricity to it and it pumps water. It's cool. I thought that was neat. Anyways,
it is pretty neat.
It's cool.
It's like, whether or not it's useful, I don't know, but it's a neat concept. And yeah
That's really what it is. It's a neat concept.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention is probably the best news and my favorite piece of news for this week. So, Tesla has started to convert some of their chargers to work with non-Tesla EVs. Now, don't go jumping for joy quite yet. There's only about a dozen chargers available in the US, like the whole US, that have this. But they are starting to roll this out. And there are a couple videos that I watched on this. So Marquez Brownlee, he's got an autofocus channel that's all about electric vehicles, well, mostly electric vehicles. He did a video on it on there. And in his video, someone else making a video went to the same place to charge their F-150 Lightning. And that guy, I can't remember what his name is, but his channel is State of Charge. So if you go look on YouTube for their videos, they can give you all the details and their experience with this. But basically what it does is in the Tesla app, you can find now chargers that will work with non-Tesla vehicles. It'll tell you where they're at, if they're being used or whatnot. Like the Tesla app for that has been way more reliable than any other chargers out there, for one. So that's why this is really big news and good news that Tesla is opening up their charging network to other cars. The problem is that right now, like, their connector is different than what the standard connector on other EVs is. So that's why they have to convert their chargers to work. So the way it works is you go there, you pull up to a charger, you tell the app which one you're in, you tell it that you're using a non-Tesla vehicle, and then when you go to pull the cord out, it basically attaches a converter type thing onto the cord, so it will plug into your EV that you have that is non-Tesla. Now, the biggest issue that came up in both of these videos is these charging cables are made for Tesla vehicles. So how you would generally use a Tesla, or to charge a Tesla, is you back it into the space because the charger's on the back and it'll plug in. It's a relatively short cable because it doesn't have to go very far to reach a Tesla. But every other car, the chargers are in different locations. So in these videos, there was MKBHD, he had a Rivian R1T, and there was an F-150, and there was another non-Tesla. I can't remember what the other car was, but they all had to park differently to be able to charge their vehicles. Now, the Rivian, he could park on the opposite side of the charger. So if a Tesla wanted to use it, he would have to basically take up 2 spots to block it from being used by the Tesla, or just say, hey, don't park there because I'm in this spot using this charger. But it worked okay. The F-150, he had to basically pull as far forward as he possibly could to get the cord as tight as it could go, and then it would finally click in. So it wasn't really the best way to do it, but it did work if you're pulled in just straight away. Like if you go on an angle and take up 2 spots that way, it would reach better. But couldn't do that because there was enough people there. And then this other car had, like, there was a charger kind of on the side of this little parking lot. He pulled up to that parallel to it rather than, pulling up straight to it so he could charge that way. And it was working, but again, kind of, you had to make it work. But everyone's experience that was there with the non-Tesla saying it was charging faster than other chargers that are available for those cars, which is good. It's not charging as fast as a Tesla does using those chargers, but it was still faster and it was working very well, compared to like the Electrify America chargers or Ford's chargers, So I like that this is now happening. It just obviously is going to take some time for Tesla to get to all of their chargers and update them and convert them to work the right way. So,
yeah.
But I do like that it's happening because having more chargers for cars just means it's better for everyone, really.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of a shame that Tesla started building out the supercharger network before the standard electric car charging interface was developed.
Yeah.
Because everybody else uses the same plug, the same power delivery mechanisms and everything like that. It's just Tesla that's different. And yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. But I'm hoping for 2 things to happen with this. One, obviously, more chargers because Tesla will eventually adapt all their superchargers to work. But 2, that the other people that make chargers for electric vehicles will see that people are starting to use Tesla's chargers. They're going to lose out on some revenue that they were making, people using their chargers, and think, oh, maybe we should actually, update our chargers for one, and 2, make sure they're all working, because that was always the biggest complaint that I saw is you'd go on an app, oh, there's a bunch of chargers here. You'd get there, maybe 2 of 10 are actually working.
Yeah.
If there's not already
the reliability
cars there.
of it was just kind of sucky.
Yeah. That's been the biggest thing with between Tesla chargers and non-Tesla chargers is the Tesla chargers are usually all functioning the way they're supposed to. Whereas the Electrify America ones, I single them out specifically because I know the name of those chargers. I know Ford has some that are their own, but all the other ones, it was hit or miss whether that charger was actually going to be working, let alone have somebody there using it. So I'm hoping that because this is now happening, these other companies will be like, oh crap, we need to fix our chargers so people will use them, But again, this is going to take time because Tesla has to put on these adapters on all of their chargers for people to use them. It's going to be a while. But I like that it's actually happening. So, yeah, gives me hope for the future for electric vehicles.
Yeah.
All right, that is all of my news for this week.
Awesome. Good. Well, I have some news that's not as exciting.
Oh, man.
In the slightest. But we're going to talk about it because this is one of those things that Microsoft is going to auto-install for you, customer.
Is it a new U2 album?
No.
Oh.
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good throwback there.
Man, Apple's never going to live that down.
No, nor should they.
So, Microsoft, they have the Microsoft Defender. They are coming out with a newer version of the Microsoft Defender. They've been actually developing it and putting it out this last month, February, or they started setting it out February 2022, and then now 2023 is here. They are going to automatically auto-install Defender if you are a Microsoft 365 subscriber, both family and standard, so personal or family subscriber. So, and this also goes for both Windows 10 and 11. So if you are a subscriber, this will auto-install for you. So if you start seeing this, this is what this is.
Question. Is this not already pre-installed on Windows machines? I thought it was.
So yes, but this is the new Defender app.
So instead of just being integrated into settings, it's like there's a new app for it.
Yep. And so you'll be seeing this, and so just to make sure that everyone kind of knows, I like to at least mention stuff like this in case like someone's like, wait, what is this? Don't I already have it? Like Landon's question, don't I have this? But this is you're going to see this. And so
now, is this something that you can download even if you're not a 365 subscriber?
As of right now, it just says they're bundling it in with all the rest of their apps in the 365 subscriber is what they're doing. And so this app also will be used for other platforms too. So if, from what I'm gathering on here, it'll be like you have 365 on your PC and devices for all the family members. So if you got a tablet, you got a phone, things like that, it'll be an app that you can install Defender. It will auto install it for you when you install everything else. So
gotcha. Now, listener,
yes, go ahead.
Listener, I would recommend if you are using a Windows device, just use Windows Defender anyways, because it actually works well.
It does. Because really
you need antivirus software. You do. And this one's free and better than all of the other ones because more than anything else, it doesn't install a whole bunch of like actual spyware onto your machine when you install it. Unlike Norton, unlike McAfee, unlike even AVG at this point, like flippin', they're all actually viruses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like they do more harm to your computer than the things that they're protecting you from. Like 99% of the time. Yep. So just use Windows Defender. It's good.
So it'll be out. It says that it's just part of the 365. It's available on Mac OS, iOS, and Android as well. So if you want to try this out, you can. So I did want to let you know that if you see something like this, that's what this is. Because we got to love that. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and go into some gaming news. It's not a lot. I just kind of wanted to mention. I figured this is kind of a thing we could touch on. And we didn't really like talking about the Activision Microsoft deal unless there's some good news or something that's actually more need to talk about.
Or something's actually happening.
Yes, happening. And so guess what? It was leaked that the EU seems to like what Microsoft did overall for signing deals for 10 years for all their competitors, even cloud computing and everything that they had issues that they thought they had issues with. They got this done and they seemed to be okay with it. And that's the EU. So signed off on another one. I think this is one of the bigger ones that Microsoft wants to be signed off on. I think the next one's going to be the FTC, obviously, but I think after that, it might just roll out, but we'll see what happens. They also said that the EU and the FTC don't like each other, I guess in a nutshell. So who knows what this will do if they approve it, and then who knows? But I think good news so far. I mean, obviously, let's be real. This should just go through.
I've got to say, generally speaking, the EU tends to be way more anti-merger than the FTC.
Yeah.
Just generally speaking, the EU hates that kind of thing. Well,
they're the ones that blocked Facebook and what were they trying to buy? Oh gosh, was it WhatsApp? No,
they did buy WhatsApp.
No, they bought WhatsApp.
There was another thing.
EU is threatening to make Facebook dissolve that partnership with WhatsApp and Instagram.
And Instagram. Yeah,
okay.
That's true. So yeah, like if the FTC approves this, then I think that's a huge hurdle for Microsoft to overcome.
EU.
Or sorry, if the EU approves
EU.
it, and then it's just the FTC needs to approve it. And honestly, I suspect it'll probably go through. I think the FTC is just being slow right now, not necessarily like they're like, oh, we're not sure we're going to do it. I think they've probably already decided they're going to let it go. They just haven't yet.
I guess the reasoning behind it, I'm like just wanting it to happen because then people can start innovating and pushing forward for gaming and everything.
Just move on with our lives. Oh my gosh, crying seriously. Out loud.
A year and some months now. Like, yes, it was shocking when Caleb's wish list thing did happen.
Yeah,
it will when they announced it. Yes,
it
but
still
now
hasn't actually happened. Let's be honest,
right. But it'll be good, I think, overall, because I mean they've signed away so much stuff to help competition, and I don't know. I enjoy seeing that. I'm assuming Caleb likes to see it. Landon could care less. He just wants to play his mobile games. But
no, hey now. As much as I am not a gamer, I still like seeing things like this happen. If it benefits the customer, that's what I'm here for.
If we were going to get him to sit down and play some PC games, it would probably be Blizzard games. So
yeah, I mean, you've played them. StarCraft. You have played. That's probably
I have played StarCraft a lot. I've played the first iteration of Diablo a decent amount. I've and I mean other games that are involved with this, Call of Duty being one of them. I've played a lot of that. So
Yeah. So yeah, I just I think it'll be good. We want to go through and just move on. Let's do this, innovate, create the games we want, and push forward. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. But that's really all the news that I have in gaming and on there. If it weren't for the Activision Blizzard, this would be pretty slow season. So I mean, so yeah, but things to expect. A lot of people are thinking Microsoft may have another developer direct this month, the Starfield one, and then maybe some more of the other games they might sprinkle on there. Thing to mention, Diablo 4 came out. If you're interested in Diablo 4 and checking out the beta, if you pre-ordered the beta, pre-ordered Diablo 4, you have an early access to the beta, which is the 17th through the 19th of this month. And then if you want the open beta, which is access without pre-ordering, that is the 24th to the 26th of March. So if you want to get in on that, check it out, see if it's right for you. I know I'm going to be there maybe 1 or 2 days trying it out. I'm going to try and get Caleb to install it actually and play.
Yeah, I'll install it. Well,
and then we'll just tell Landon all about it. Maybe we can get him to install it on something. I don't know.
On what? Yeah.
I don't know. Cloud stream it somehow.
Okay. I do have a Windows laptop. It's about 8 or 9 years old.
Hey, you know what? It might work on there because they are making this for the original Xbox One and the PS4. So, and it's crossplay on those. So
I'm actually just gonna go ahead. Like, I would have to double check, but I'm pretty sure the only Blizzard game you can't play on Mac OS is Overwatch. So if they're going to stick with what they did with Diablo 3, then there should be a Mac version of it.
I don't know. I guess I could look real fast and type.
I mean, yeah, I'm like checking right now.
Are you okay? I was like to say, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So that's useful. It says battle.net. That's okay. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Now what? Like, I know that there's a Mac client of battle.net, but can I actually play on?
I'm sure if you go to the website when it says on PlayStation, PC, or whatnot, wouldn't it say?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It says Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, battle.net.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that's super useful. Thanks, Blizzard. Appreciate it. Oh man, I'll keep. I don't know. We'll check back in with you next week, listener.
We'll let you know as more details arise. Okay, well, that's all the news that I do have. We're going to go over to Caleb, swing it over to him, and what's kind of news you got for us, buddy?
All right, listener, I'm going to say a sentence that's going to make it sound like I'm about to talk about the greatest people on the internet, but I'm not, just to be clear. It just sounds that way. But this past week, there was some developers that got up in front of a crowd of people and demonstrated that they have gotten Doom to play on a 1 milliwatt brain.
What?
Now, let me explain what that means. So, there's the thing. It's a chip. It's called the NDP-200. This is essentially a low power, like super low power processor that is designed to monitor, like it does nothing but monitor video using neural networks, right? The idea being that this thing just sits there. It uses 1 milliwatt. That's it. That is all the power this thing requires. It sits there passively watching a video stream, and then when it sees something interesting on the stream through a neural net, it recognizes as like action or a person or something. It wakes up a more powerful processor that is then going to do things like record video, log events, send notifications, so on and so forth. But basically, that stuff sleeps most of the time, and this one little super low power processor, which is just a brain that is watching the video, is monitoring it most of the time. Now, this came out at the IEEE International Solid State Circuits Conference in San Diego this past week, which is apparently a thing. Did not know that. And it's from company Sentient. Yeah, they're obviously going for a play on sentient with that name, but yeah, so they make this chip that is just it's a really low powered little brain that is watching video, and using the neural nets that are designed to run on this thing, they taught this processor and its neural networks how to clear a room of endlessly spawning demons in Doom. Because using Doom as a video monitoring AI training vehicle seems like a great idea. Now, I'm not sure if you just recognized right off the bat that there were problems with this, listener, but let me articulate the main one for you. Do you want Skynet? Because this is how you get Skynet. Like, we're taking a processor and a neural network that is designed to do nothing but watch a video and then react when it sees something happen on the video, and we're teaching it that the proper thing to do when it sees something on the video is to shoot it. That's what we have taught it. So they did not think this through, is what I'm saying. So
obviously,
basically, if you ever hear about some kind of new technology in the surveillance camera, like security camera space, where they're like, oh, we've got this super low power chip that is able to monitor the system. It uses almost no power, and then when it sees something, it's going to trigger more powerful systems to wake up and do stuff. And you also hear about somebody integrating an automated defense system with that surveillance system. Run, because one of the actions that this processor is apparently able to do is shoot stuff that moves. So yeah, let's yes, no, that's the appropriate. This is a perversion of everything that Doom modders stand for. Like we keep teaching stuff to play Doom that it's all like, it seems just really silly and fun, like rats. Sure, we taught rats how to play Doom. Is that ridiculous? Absolutely. Does that mean rats are going to grow opposable thumbs, suddenly be able to use firearms and shoot us? No. But teaching it to an AI? Like, maybe let's not.
Let's definitely
do that
not
one.
Put this onto Bing's version of ChatGPT.
Yeah, don't do that.
Seriously. Like, and that's the thing. It's not only are they teaching it to an AI, but they're teaching it to an AI that is specifically designed to run on a low power chip that's intended to monitor surveillance feeds. Like, it's just a bad idea. Anyways, so there you go. It's not the best people on the internet. This is just weird stuff happening in the world of apparently international solid state circuits, for which there is a conference. Just FYI. Okay. So, fun times in the world of Doom. Now, in happier news, I would like to go ahead and we're going to talk about this week's indie game of the week, to prove once again that developers that are not AAA developers waiting around for Microsoft and Sony to figure their crap out, are actually doing stuff that is fun and good and happy and everything. So let's talk about Terra Nil. Now, this is a game that is coming out on March 28th, right? So it's kind of an early access sort of thing right now, but I think it looks really interesting. This is coming from developer Free Lives, who are the developers of Broforce. If you've played that, listener, that came from them back in, I think, like 2014, 2015 timeframe. So, it's been a little while. Technically, the game is published by Devolver Digital. And this is one of those things that it's like, what is an indie game really? Is an indie game a game that doesn't have a publisher? Like, it's published by the developers, not going through another publisher? Or can an indie game be an indie game if it's developed by a developer who isn't working for a publisher, but then somebody like Devolver Digital steps in, puts their name on as publisher, and essentially just markets the thing and then skims a little bit off the profits or something like that? Like, is that still an indie game? This is a whole philosophical question I don't really know how to get into. Xbox has this problem out the wazoo because they keep buying indie developers, but they still call their games indie games. But it's like, Microsoft, you own them. Does that count? Anyways, questions for another time.
Yeah.
I'm treating it like an indie game because Free Lives developed the game on their own. Devolver Digital really is just marketing it. And honestly, anything that Devolver Digital, like, they just look at a whole bunch of indie games that are submitted to them. They go, these are the good ones. We'll put our name on it. And that kind of means that they're pre-vetted. We already know that these are going to be pretty decent games. Like, I think it was last year, Cult of the Lamb, I think was the name of that one. That was a Devolver Digital indie game type thing as well. Turned out to be massively popular. So anyways, what is Terra Nil? I'm just going to go ahead and read you the blurb off of their Steam page because it's amazing. Terra Nil is a game about transforming a barren, lifeless landscape into a thriving, vibrant ecosystem. Turn dead soil into fertile grassland, clean, polluted oceans, plant sprawling forests, and create the ideal habitat for animals to call home, then recycle your buildings and leave no trace that you were there. So essentially, you are coming into like a post-apocalyptic hellscape where there was some kind of big civilization that has gone absolutely to pot. They polluted the planet, they ruined everything, and you're reversing that. So it's been tagged as kind of a reverse city builder. So instead of going into a place where it's like, oh no, it's just nature and building a city like you would in something like, I don't know.
City Skylines or something.
Yeah, City Skylines and like Sim City and stuff are the obvious choices. But where was my head went to the Sierra games first. What was Caesar? That's what they're called. Anyways, it's kind of the opposite of that. You're going into a place where there was a city and you're reversing the existence of that city back into wilderness and then destroying all of your stuff, your facilities that did that, and leaving. So kind of an interesting concept, a little bit of a subversion of our expectations for what a city builder really is. But it looks like, kind of a fun city management sim type thing. And if you happen to like those, then this is definitely worth taking a look at. So like I said, March 28th, $25 to pre-purchase it right now. If you pre-order, you get their soundtrack and a digital art book, and I think that's it. So generally speaking, listener, I don't pre-order stuff. Like, it's okay. You'll be fine without the soundtrack and the digital art book for this game. Yeah. Wait until it comes out. Let some people actually play it. Look at a review or two, but it's worth keeping an eye on. So that's the indie game spotlight for the week. It's Terra Nil. And that is all the news that I have.
Whew. Nice, quick, and easy. Good week here. Hey, Landon, you got one more thing for us?
No, I don't.
No one more thing. All right. Well, I think that wraps up our episode. All right. Well, if you want to get hold of us, you can at our social media platforms. You can also take a look at some sweet videos that Caleb puts up on our YouTube channel, Calling All Platforms right there. If you want to support Landon for putting up with us, yoo-hoos, and doing all the hard work and everything for producing this podcast, there is a Patreon of Calling All Platforms with pretty cool, I'd have to say, rewards. I can't remember what they're called for giving Landon some money to put up with us. Take a look at those. Yeah. All right, dear listener. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.